We're going to take a closer look tonight at the debate about free speech.
How much speech is too much?
Harvey Silverglate, an attorney, says sensitivity has simply gone too far.
If liberty is not cultivated on college campuses today, we can't expect that there will be popular support for liberty out here in the real world in 20 years.
One of the things that people don't fully appreciate is that prior to FIRE, the free speech on campus issue and due process issue was something that people really wanted to sweep under the rug.
When these institutions are challenged, they very often lose.
Well, of course. They seem to not really understand the law at all.
The Foundation for Individual Rights and Education says DePaul University students have very little freedom of speech on campus. The group cites 2 attempts by the school to block conservative speakers and 1 move to stop a socialist speaker from coming to the university.
The fact that now you can kind of take for granted that this is an issue taken seriously is something that we worked really hard to achieve.
We filed a lawsuit against Pierce College in California, which told a student that if he wanted to engage in free speech activities, he had to limit himself to a tiny free speech zone.
I had no idea that we had a free speech area or free speech codes.
We have 2 different campuses on which students were told they could not hand out copies of the Constitution without getting advance permission from the state.
When I look back at when I started at FIRE, what strikes me is how, while some things have changed, we have much fancier offices, our staff is bigger, a lot hasn't changed. We still are so dedicated to exactly how we say something, how we present ourselves, the decisions we make, and that hasn't been lost with our growth, with our expanded projects.
FIRE does a good job of trying to find people who are committed to the mission and who want to work where people feel free to disagree with one another, but where we can also share that common goal of defending free speech and due process on campus.
Overnight in 2013, 2014, almost like someone hit a switch.
Step down! It is not about creating an intellectual space! It is not!
We started seeing cases of students demanding new speech codes, students demanding people be kicked off campus if they don't share their point of view.
He's a fascist and Berkeley did not welcome him.
That's when the disinvitations really blew up. That's when we first started hearing about things like trigger warnings and microaggression policies.
The Change.org petition to get Mar removed was written by a group of students at the university.
It was the 50th anniversary of something that is legendary on that campus, the Berkeley Free Speech Movement. I guess they don't teach irony in college anymore.
Let's talk about some of these bias response teams, because this is crazy.
Many of them include police, they include student conduct administrators, and their entire job as members of these panels are to go through, decide whether or not something is quote-unquote biased, and then decide what to do about it. Included protected speech.
The fact that you have a point to get out, it's great, but when you do it and it alarms other people, then I have to interject and I have to do something about it.
You also cite one university event called Hump Day, where students were invited to, I guess, just sort of pet a camel, was shut down because some found that offensive. Who would that offend?
That one just made me sad, because I would love to pet a camel. FIRE donors are some of the most interesting people I've ever met in the world.
I've been so lucky to be able to travel the country, meet with the people who make FIRE's work possible, get to hear their stories, why they care about FIRE, what draws them to our mission, see different perspectives and think about things in ways that I never thought about them before.
The need for FIRE is stronger than ever.
The thing that I am so grateful for is that there was an organization that I knew nothing about, FIRE, and they reached out to us to let us know, we got you. They can't do this to you.
I think FIRE is just a fantastic organization that does sort of what we can.
The people of FIRE have been great. They've advised us. I've always come out of every conversation, know exactly what to do next.
My most important message to people who care about free speech on campus, don't give up. We've made so much progress.
We are going to win. And the reason we are going to win is the notion that on a college campus, people have the prerogative to say to somebody else, shut up, is so absurd that ultimately we will prevail.